Okay guys, today I actually have a car reveal of a new car. This car is very similar to another car that has actually already been featured on the channel. It is going to be a car which I'm going to lightly modify, tastefully do some things to, and it will be primarily my daily. My other Mustang, I've had so many comments of people being like, at this point you kind of need a daily. It's a little crazy that you're dailying, especially with my last upload. It being a winter car, everyone's like, okay, this is crazy, you're driving in the winter. I agree. I'm not going to drive in the winter anymore. It is going to be my wide-body, like, fun weekend car that's like a show car, if it looks good enough eventually. But that other car, I just got parts in. I got 2 heavy box in the back, and both of them are for this new car. So after this, I'll show you guys the new car, give you a quick run through and the plans of what the build is going to be like. But this will be the new daily for the channel, which means my wide body car can be as crazy as I want it to be without eliminating my daily use. Ignore the 10 interior, but when I go to this and I try to start it, it literally wants to start but just doesn't quite start. So once I can get it going, it just doesn't sound like it's... I'm gonna fill it up with gas. It could be potentially out of gas. I know the gas meter doesn't work. And then when I start out of the back, it makes like a little pop noise. So it could be gas, but I'm pretty sure it's the starter. And it's making a weird ticking noise. The very first thing I did was remove the belt that goes across the alternator. Now it has this little cover and a couple 15mm screws. I'm gonna take those off real quick, and then I can show you where the car is that I'm working on. The hardest part of this entire install is the clip that goes onto the back of this alternator. Literally, you just have to wiggle it while pressing in this middle tab. It is so difficult to do. I'd recommend getting a pair of pliers to be able to get into that. Then once we have this little bolt off for the positive connector, which is the wire that goes right here, once I have this, it's completely removed, which means I'm gonna lift this. Now, if you're installing one of these, make sure it's Motorcraft, because if it's not Motorcraft, sometimes the the battery light inside the car will constantly show, so you have to kind of replace it with a Motorcraft one. Realistically, these are kind of like the best ones. Otherwise, it might give you some issues. Okay, I'm pretty much going to reverse everything I did and then plug it in, and then plug in the battery, which I just charged up to 14 voltage. Look at that new, it looks so good in there. Unfortunately, I'm gonna cover it with this little cover, but I think it's also supposed to help the longevity of it, make sure dirt doesn't get in and whatnot. So I'm gonna install this cover on with a couple of bolts real quick, and then from there on out, we're pretty much plugging the battery and starting this car. Get this one up and running. These wheels are going to go onto the other car. These are 20s, currently running 16s on the other ones with a 1-inch spacer. These will be able to fit, but that means I'm actually going to be able to build my 3-piece wheels on this car and get it up and running with the crazy wide body and the crazy front splitter with a custom wide body, all the crazy things I'm going to be doing to this thing. It means I can finally get to that with having the assurance of having a daily, so that way I don't have to daily the craziest car that I own. Soon to be the craziest car that I own. Okay, with that explained, I'm going to go work on some of the parts of this. I grabbed all the materials that I'm going to need for this. I have a lot to do. And then I have a front bumper in my living room because this I need to work on. I need to sand and perfect all these edges over here. And then I also need to take this off completely, demount all the lighting, take off all the old wrap, and then primer it so I can see wherever the divots are. And then from there, I need to be able to wrap it. So I already took off the top grill because I'm doing something with that. Those wheels are a secret surprise for another video. It's just I have a lot going on. Unfortunately, I just haven't posted a video because there's just so much going on at all times. You might ask, why the hell am I recording in the bathtub? Because that is because there is something I have to clean off, and I'm going to deal with it. And it's really messy, and I don't want to deal with it right now. So I'm going to clean it off, and I need what I just bought at Harbor Freight, some big old tools that I can use that I don't really care about. And we're going to do it here. is the grill isn't fully clipped in, but those are going to run through those natural slots that are already slotted out. And then this is going to sit a little bit closer to the bumper, not by much, but those little metal rods are going to go underneath. The idea of this is like a futuristic car. I really love the exterior intercooling of the JDM design, and the Widebody was inspired by JDM design. It's literally a Japanese Russian designed Widebody, but it takes a lot of heavy inspirations from the Japanese cars and the Boku Zoku style from the 90s and the 80s and the 70s. So I really love the style. This is probably what closer to the finished product is going to look like. I think it looks incredible, especially if you imagine a bigger front splitter coming off of this carbon one, tying up to the wide body edges right there. It's going to come down and meet up with this front bumper going all the way across. It looks absolutely crazy, and I love it. Time to demount and dismount all the work I just put in, and those aren't fully clipped in or anything, but you As you guys saw in this video, we have the brand new Mustang, the daily Mustang. We have the Widebody car that I'm going to be working on a lot this year. It's going to be entered into a couple shows. And then we also have the Miata. What happened to it? Why has it not been on the channel? I have a video coming to you guys soon to explain what the plans are for that car, what happened to that car, where it is, and what I am going to be doing with it this year. And then we also have the motorcycle. Got to get that up and running. Just have a lithium battery came in, and that's ready to rip after that. Besides that, I think that's where we're at. And there's a secret car build, which I've been editing the series on. It's going to get released into a build series. So I already edited the first part. It's one of the things I've done on this couple 3-week hiatus. But I have a lot of things going on in the background. Parts for the 350Z. We have other parts for other cars. You guys will find out about all of this very soon. I'm sorry about the posting. It'll be a little bit more consistent as we get back into the car season. Thank you. Peace.